Hi, welcome to the first in a series of Sugar Smart Learning Home videos. We're going to take you through a series of challenges that hopefully you'll find interesting and engaging and challenge you in a few ways. We're going to get you thinking about using some detective skills to find out where sugar's hiding in your kitchen and maybe in your fridge. We're also going to get you to use your imagination to come up with some ideas around some foods that may taste good with no added sugar in, and maybe some things that may be good to drink with no added sugar in. And we're also going to get you to use some of your leadership skills by organising some activities for yourself and the people who live with you to have a go at during the lockdown period. My name is Andy, and hi to those who I've seen in school. If you've not done this in school, no worries, but we'll talk you through it, and we'll make sure you understand what the challenges are and how you can best do those. So for the first one, we're going to find out how much sugar is in the home. Okay, so if you remember it from school, or if you've not done this before, we do this by talking about sugar cubes. Now, if you've done this before, do you remember how many grams are in a cube of sugar? If you've not done it before, you're not going to know. The answer's 4, so around about 4 grams of sugar. And again, if you've done it before, do you remember how many cubes can you have a day? If you've not done it before, you're not going to know. The answer's 6. So 6 cubes of sugar is around about 24 grams, so something like that. So maybe not too many. So we're going to have a think about how much sugar is in the house, and then maybe also as a challenge, as an extended challenge, how much sugar you're having on a daily and weekly basis, and seeing if it falls within those limits or exceeds them. So that should be interesting for you to find out something about yourself there. So the first thing you're going to need is ideally access to a tablet or a mobile phone. And what you're going to need to do is have on there the Change for Life food scanner app. So you can see that there. That's available through the App Store, or it's available through Google Play for Android and other devices. So both of them have those. There's no charge for it. It's absolutely free. You download it to your tablet or to your mobile phone, and then that's going to make the task of detecting how much sugar is in food a little bit easier. If you haven't got access to a mobile phone or a tablet, it's a bit more of a challenge for you, but it should still be a really good, interesting one, because we're going to challenge your math skills. Because on the back of the information on the products that we're going to take a look at that you've got at home, there's information on the ingredients about what's included in there. And what you're going to need to look at particularly is carbohydrates, of which are sugars. That will have a value across the bottom. You need to check how much they're referencing that to. So in this particular one, it says there are 3 grams per a quarter of a jar. We need to find out how much is in the whole jar. So if it's a quarter, we need to multiply that by 4, and that's going to give us 12 grams of sugar in that jar. So the other thing to remember is some of the things that you look at won't be able to scan. So some of the things you might have to use your maths to find out how much is in a particular item. Okay. So just as an example, the scanning code that you see there, all you need to do is scan across, look in the barcode there on the app, and scan in the product. So in this case, we're looking at tomato sauce, and it might sometimes be a little bit fiddly, but if you do manage to get them into the centre of the app, it does pop up, and then it will give you how much sugar's in there as a total. So in the tomato sauce we've seen there, 17 sugar cubes. Maybe more sugar than you think in some of these things. If you did this lesson in school, you remember one of the ones that was really high in sugar was chocolate spread. Again, if you managed to get your scanner on there, and that came up quite quickly on that one. So in that small jar, 28 grams of sugar. So the challenge is how much sugar is in your cupboards and in your fridge and in things at home. If you still got any Easter eggs left, you might want to check those out as well, because I suspect they might be quite high. But can you come up with a total for your whole house about how much sugar's hidden in some of these food products that you might not think there's much sugar in there? Okay. The next challenge as part of that is, can you identify which may be high in sugar? So you might think that the chocolate spread is high in sugar and put those in a collection to one side. You might want to think about some that are maybe medium in sugar. So if that's 28 cubes, that's going to be high. If you're thinking about something maybe between 6 and 10, it's probably going to be medium. And anything below 6 is probably going to be thinking about low in sugar. So can you identify low, medium and high sugars as whilst you're collecting the data on how much sugar's in your kitchen and in your fridge and in your house. Okay? And the last part of the challenge, over the coming days, can you keep a little food diary using the information that you've got from the foodstuffs about how much sugar's in there? And some of these will be a small portion of them, so details on there might be also about the portion. So think about how much might be in a portion and keep a food diary and see how much sugar's in your diary, in your diet over the course of the next few days. And if you can do that for longer and maybe extend that to the lockdown, when we get back to school, you'll have some great information to share with your teachers and with your pals in school about how much sugar or how little sugar you've had in your diet. Keep watching the channel. We're going to introduce some more challenges around things to eat and things to drink, and maybe challenges around things that you can then lead the rest of your family. Hopefully you'll enjoy the challenge that we've set for you today around testing your detective skills, and we'll see you again soon for the next challenge. Good luck.